Good morning, DIALED fans, and welcome back to the Lenzerheide World Cup for day 3. Practice and qualifying. The sun's out, the track is mint, and the riders are stoked. Let's go check it out.
I just felt like those top turns, when I was going into them, I was like squirming a bit up front end because I didn't have enough weight. It wasn't steady. It was fast in places, but I think a firmer rear end will be faster. The track's in good condition right now, but there's some lines that are drying up quite a bit and it's going to break. So I was trying to find some alternatives. Really hard to find it because it's narrow between rocks and roots and a line blowing to hook up into the right area. So it's a bit tough, but it'll be cool. It's going to be really good. Yeah, I've gone up to 101 PSI on the fork, and we're just ramping the back up now. We've gone up some more compression too to lift the back up. Felt like I was losing the front a bit now. It's drying up. Also because we're on a smaller tire now on the rear.
So Greg just came down and was struggling to get weight on the front wheel. Instead of changing the front end, we just added a little bit of low-speed compression to the shock to bring the back up and transfer weight to the front. Nina starting to get hot again. She was also struggling with front end grip. But front end seemed okay, so we again went to the shock, added a little bit of low-speed compression, and actually slowed rebound down in the shock because it is getting hotter now.
Today seems pretty sunny, so just have a smooth and fast run would be good. But apparently tomorrow it's like more wet, so just not thinking about it too much, and we'll see.
Awesome.
Basically.
If it does change on the weather, do you have like a suspension set that you're going to go to? Or?
Suspension, I guess, like maybe a tiny bit softer on like low speed stuff, but then just tires basically, because the suspension affects a bit, but you're just riding slower, so you have to make it softer, I guess. Depends, actually. Ask Jordi.
What's the plan for qualifying today?
Let's do another run the same, hey, just be clean everywhere. It's still a bit greasy in some spots, so some of those tracks where you just can't go kind of balls out, you kind of got to tone it back a little bit. So just trying to be smart. We're protected, so we can kind of go that little bit harder, but trying to overdo it though. Should be good.
Any changes to the suspension, the bike?
I've actually gone up I made everything a bit harder actually. I put 2 more PSI in my forks, gone a bit harder compression, and then harder compression in the shock as well. I think it's just like, it's not that rough, it's just kind of big hits, and because of all the rain, it's kind of holes, but you just punch into them. So trying to stay like, skim over them a bit more, and it seems to be working.
So we kind of got it dialed. When it rains, we just go to a certain wet kind of setup and just try and get on with it. I mean, we've already ridden in the wet, so I know the wet lines. I've ridden in the dry, so I know the dry lines. So she's nice and consistent. I want to put a fast run down. I want to kind of I always leave something for finals day. It's never a kind of all-out attack, but I mean, to be good in points, you got to be doing something. So it's I'm gonna give it a good go. Yeah, it's pretty stoked with it. There's a few, like, now the weather's changed, there's a few things to tamper with, I think, but we're not far off. Yeah, it's all good.
You want to go faster, yeah? You don't want to set it up for it.
Yeah, cool.
What pressure are you right now?
85.
That's pretty normal.
Sweet.
And we checked compressions, everything seems okay.
Sweet.
Bar height feels okay.
Yeah.
Maybe the rebound's a little bit fast now.
Okay.
I feel like coming into corners and I can't scrub the speed off, it's like kicking me into them. Yeah, a little bit. I think we're just going to slow the rebound down now, just because on the rear it feels like I'm getting kicked into the corners a bit too much. And generally as I'm going a bit faster, I just need the bike to be a bit more controlled. So
practice went well this morning. Track is running very fast. It's pretty dry and I have been loving it. Can't wait for qualies. Feels good. You?
Any changes to the suspension, the bike?
Not really. Not really. Felt great on the same settings. Yeah, it's good. Bike is running good.
Have a good one, Frank.
Thanks, bro.
Everything's good, like in the rough and the steep. Just like on these last like big corners, the bike just kind of is a little bit kind of front heavy, kicking me. Feels like the back's riding a little bit.
Starts low and gets front heavy, or it just stays
No,
front
it
heavy?
just stays front heavy.
Okay. Do you want to bring the front up or let the back sit?
I feel like the back. Yeah. I'm trying to get a little more traction on the front, but I think I talked to Jordi and he said just kind of stick with what you know, and you don't want to learn another suspension setup. So just sticking with what I know, and it'll be dry by the time I do my qualifying run. So yeah, just sticking with what I was running at Val d'Isole.
Ending a Friday here with the day of qualifying for downhill. Was actually a pretty quiet day. Not a whole lot of puzzling. The heat affected things a little bit because cold and a little bit greasy in the morning, turning into completely dry and hot in the afternoon. So small rebound changes really. Guys changing tires to go from grease to dry. We had good qualifying results with Danny Hart in first and Greg in fourth, Loris in sixth, and Dean Lucas in 10th. And then women, we also crushed it with Nina in second, Marion in third, and Veronika in fourth. So looking forward to tomorrow. Hopefully we can step it up just a little bit.